Okay. Hi everybody, I'm back. It's Naya. Um Today I feel like telling you guys a story about how my ex-boyfriend in high school asked another girl to prom. I feel like it's only fitting because we're in May and I went to prom in May, and unfortunately because of Corona, like no one's going to prom. So I feel like we can all laugh at my unfortunate prom experience. So let's get into it. Okay, so I guess we can start with where I met this boy. I met him in middle school, and to be quite honest with you guys, I had zero interest in this boy. He was not my type. He was not cute. Um, I don't really like to talk about people's appearances, but like when you aren't cute on the outside and you're also not cute on the inside, like there's no saving grace for you. Like he took a liking to me kind of right off the bat. Um and I wasn't interested, honestly. Like I ended up dating his friend at first because I was more interested in his friend, but whatever. So let's fast forward. We became friends in middle school when we met, and he the whole time steadily tried to get with me, and I was not having it. I was not interested. I had other boys that I was more interested in at the time, and so we never got together. I did become very close with him. I would say at the time, he was one of my closest friends because I had known him for a very long time. For some reason, senior year, I was going through a lot of stuff emotionally and with my family. Honestly, when I was 16, I started experiencing like depression, and I struggled with that ever since. At this time, I'm now 17. I had gone through a really bad breakup. I was going through it with my family because of course I'm 17 and I'm a girl, and you go through it with your parents. And I decided to give old boy a shot because we were such good friends. As soon as we started dating, just that's when red flags just started popping up. One thing he did was he removed me off of all his social medias all of a sudden. Well, I think the only social medias that were cool at the time was Facebook, definitely, and I think Instagram. I'm not sure, y'all. This is back in 2013. But I'm sure Instagram was like popular. I'm not like 100%, but well, it was around, but not like popping like how it is now. But yeah, he removed me from that. And when I kind of confronted him about it, his excuse was something to the extent of like, I'm never on Facebook or Instagram. Like, I don't know how you got removed. I didn't remove you, whatever. And then the thing is that I would go to request him back. Yeah, he wouldn't accept my friend requests. And when I confronted him about that, it's like, oh, well, I'm never on, so whatever. I don't know. But sometimes I would lurk. If you go on someone's profile, it'll say like so and so is now friends with so and so, or so and so accepted so and so's friend request if you go on their profile. So like it would say that he was accepting friend requests and whatever, but and if we had like a mutual friend that I was friends with on Facebook, like you know how it says like so and so liked so and so's status update, or so and so like so and so's whatever like picture or whatever. So he was obviously active, and I could see that he was active. And then I had caught him a couple times with other girls. I don't know, it was just like weird. I just whatever. I should have cut that off before it started, but you know, when you're 17, you're not making good life choices. So moving forward, we're in our senior year and prom is just around the corner. So I was very excited for prom. The whole time I was in school, I was extremely excited for prom. It was like the one thing that I looked forward to doing. That and graduating, because that meant that I was done. Naturally, when prom's coming around the corner, I'm super excited. This is like the one thing that I've been waiting for. And um, he was my boyfriend at the time, so pretty much every weekend I would ask him, like, hey, like, are you going to prom? Are you gonna ask me to prom? Like what's the deal with prom? Like, because they had started selling the tickets, and you guys know, like, well, maybe some of you don't know, but like every week that you wait to buy the tickets, the ticket price goes up. So they start at like, I feel like they start at like $25, and then they go all the way up to like $80 or $100 or something. So pretty much every weekend he would come to my house, because all of a sudden, like I said, he was nowhere to be seen at school. He was always busy at lunch. He was always busy after school. He was always busy before school, like a busy bee, just busy, busy, busy. Like, I'm sure you were busy, like, but whatever. So he would come over like either on a Sunday or a Saturday. It was never both days. And he had a car, so he would just stop by for like an hour or two. And sit on his phone. He would just sit on his phone. We'd watch TV. I don't know. So yeah, every time he'd come over, I'd ask him, hey, we're going to prom. Like, what's the deal with prom? And it was always, well, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna have enough money. Like, I don't know. Like, financially, we're really struggling. Because honestly, like, he was struggling at the time. He was going through some stuff as well. And I just wanted to know, because like obviously he was my boyfriend and I really, really wanted to go with him. And couples tickets are always cheaper than a singles ticket. Say that the singles tickets are like $75 and the couples tickets are $100, that means that you both are paying $50 for your ticket. So since he was having financial issues himself, I just really, you know, if he was gonna go, then I just really thought it was better for the both of us to buy the couples tickets, instead of like, I'll buy my singles ticket now and then you can buy your singles tickets later if you decide that you're gonna go. But it was always like, well, I don't know, like, we don't have money for that. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna go. But it was never like a definite, like, I'm not going. Like, no, I'm not gonna go. It was always like, well, I don't know, I'm not sure, like, I'll find out. But like, always like, and always spinning it to where it made me feel like shit for asking, you know. I was just trying to be proactive and not spend more money than we had to. So it gets to, I'm gonna say like a week before prom, and he comes over one day, and I was like, so we're gonna go? Did you find out? Like, do you know? Have you heard anything? And he was like, no, like, I'm not going. I don't have money for that. Like, stop asking me, you know, like, just really rude and mean about it. And I was like, okay, dang, like, okay, you're not gonna go. And I was kind of fed up at that point, because I'm like, dude, I've been asking you for like, why am I asking you to prom? Like, what? Why am I asking you to prom? Like, stupid. But but yeah, so I was like, hey, whatever, fine, like, yeah, going to prom, whatever. I had tried to ask my friend that she had dropped out and went to like an alternative school, and I tried to ask her, and she said that she had to ask her school if they would allow her to go, which I thought was kind of weird too. Like, why do you have to ask the school if permission for you to go to a prom, like a school event that's on a weekend? But okay. But long story short, she had said that she was so far behind in school that she herself could not go to prom. And I just figured, whatever, I'll just go by myself. Like, I don't know, I don't need anybody to be with me for me to shine bright, okay? Like, I'll just go by myself and kill it by myself, you know, because nobody wants to go with me, whatever. So I start buying my stuff, my prom stuff. You guys know I'm hecka extra, Like, I had this great idea because Hunger Games had just came out, and you guys know the one where Katniss has all those like little like jewels on the back of her shoulder. Like, that's literally what I did. Like, I put jewels all on my shoulder. I had this big ridiculous crown. I had eyelashes that had diamonds and not real diamonds, but like, you know, rhinestones in them. I went all out. But we had this, I want to call it a, what do they call it? An assembly, a senior assembly, I think they called it. And that was for the kids who were graduating and walking the stage, because at this assembly you got information about when you would graduate and where the graduation would be, and you also got your cap and your gown that you bought. So I went to the assembly and I sat next to a group of girls that I was friends with. I wasn't particularly super close with these girls, but I was friends with them. And after the assembly had kind of went into a bit of an intermission because I had to call the students one by one for them to come up and get their cap and gown, we sat there and we were talking, and naturally the conversation goes to prom because we're a group of girls and we're excited about prom. And I had said that I was going to prom alone. And so one of my friends had said that she was going with a group of friends, and they were going in a limo, and they had one more spot, and if I wanted to come with them I could, which I'm very thankful for, because who I actually ended up going to prom with really made my prom. We had a really good time. So yeah, I accepted. I was super happy because, like, you know, finally, like, I don't know, I wasn't going to prom by myself, I was going with a group of friends. So but it had came up in conversation that I had said that my boyfriend wasn't going to prom. And I don't know if people knew that he was my boyfriend, because we were as soon as he became my boyfriend, we were never together at school ever. Like, all of a sudden he had so much to do, like, okay. But it had came up that I had said that he wasn't going to prom. So one girl looked at me and she was like, yeah, he is. And I was like, no, he's not. Like, that's my boyfriend. I think I would know if he's going to prom. And she was like, yeah, he's going to prom. He's going with that one girl, right? And mind you, this is a week before prom, okay? This is a week before prom. Like, how do you just all of a sudden, after you just said no, that you weren't going to prom, you didn't have the money for it, all of a sudden you have the money for it, and you have the tux, and you know who you're going with. And not only do you know who you're going with, you've already asked the girl, and other people know about it. And this girl wasn't even in, she knew my boyfriend, she knew me, but she wasn't particularly in our social group. You get what I'm saying? Like, our immediate social groups. That means that, you know, like, I just really feel like this was known for a long time and I just didn't know about it. Like, the heck. And I was like, wow, okay. All right. That's what's up. Or no, I think the thing to say back in the day was, it's whatever. I was like, okay, it's whatever. Now I would have been like, oh, for sure. Okay. Oh, shit. But anyways, I was like, okay, it's whatever. And I waited for, you know, I was like, okay. So I think I just kind of sat there in silence, like, kind of really shocked that I had got played so bad. And I just waited for them to finish calling the names so I could get my cap and gown. And then they released us. And I was like, okay, well, I'll see you guys, you know, later. And I told my friend, I'll text you more about the information about going to prom and stuff like that, and, like, you know. And I went on the prowl for my boyfriend, and, like, I don't know, like, when they released us, we all kind of stayed in the same area. I don't know why people didn't disperse into, I don't know what we were doing, but we were all kind of like in the same area, so, like, not leaving. So I went and found him, and he was with a group of friends, and I was like, hey, I need to talk to you. I'm laughing because reliving it now, it would have been so much more different. But yeah, I was like, hey, I need to talk to you. So of course, like, we go in a corner where no one can see us because like he couldn't be seen with me, right? And I was like, are you going to prom? And he was all like, I don't remember what he said. And I was like, are you like taking another girl to prom? And he was like, well, yeah, and I was like, I thought that like you didn't have the money for prom. Like all of a sudden you have the money for prom. And he was like, well, yeah, we just found out. And I'm like, okay, well, why wouldn't you ask? Like, why wouldn't your immediate person that you're gonna ask to go to prom with be your girlfriend? Like, I know y'all can hear like my earring hitting that, but whatever. I don't remember what his reason was. I think he had said because like I had said that I was gonna go with my friend. I was gonna ask my friend. Remember, I asked my friend previously that went to the alternative school. To me, that's not an excuse. If you have a girlfriend and you just all of a sudden just find out that you're gonna go to prom, I think that the first logical and ethical thing to do is to go make sure that your girlfriend has a date to prom. Or at least like go tell her like, hey, I'm going to prom. Make sure that your girlfriend is the first person that knows that you're going to prom. And so she doesn't have to find out through someone else's mouth that doesn't even know you that well that you're going, not only are you going to prom, but you're taking somebody else. That was fucked up, okay? It makes me mad now, y'all. I tried to film this video the other day, and honestly, like, filming it, like, really made me realize that what happened, it kind of stuck with me. It was a little bit hard to relive, like, everything that had happened, but, like, now I'm kind of over the sadness, and now I'm just kind of, like, pissed, because honestly, I never got an explanation as to why I was did so dirty by someone that I considered a close friend. You get what I'm saying? But whatever. So yeah, and it was weird because like obviously I was upset. Like I get a little bit crazy when I'm upset, and his reaction to this was to grab me by the arm, force me into like a weird awkward kiss, and then push me and then walk away. Like your immediate like reaction should be to apologize, not to like snatch me up by my arm, give me an awkward weird kiss, and then push me away from you. Like, okay, let's fast forward. I went to prom with my friends in the limo. I was super excited. I looked super good, super pretty. If I find any good pictures, I'll insert it. And I had a really good time. Honestly, I danced with one girl all night, and I don't remember like, okay, the girl that I ended up dancing with all night and like had a lot of fun with was one of the girls that this boyfriend had cheated on me with, and I can't remember. I think I caught him cheating on me with her before prom, and we went to prom and we just had like a amazing time. And then honestly, my ex-boyfriend, who the boyfriend I'm talking about now was friends with, he actually ended up going to prom, and he was there. And at this time I was still like madly in love with him, and he looked at me, he was like, oh wow, like he told me that I looked pretty, or he told me I looked beautiful. I don't remember which one, which word he used, and it really like kind of made my night. I was like, oh wow. And I danced with him for like a couple of songs, but I do feel really bad because he actually came with a date, and she got kind of mad that he was dancing with me. I felt really bad because I really liked that girl. She's a very beautiful girl. And the next day I made sure to apologize to her, you know, because I didn't mean anything by dancing with him. But I don't remember if I saw my ex at the prom. I think I might have saw him. I just ignored his ass. But I really feel like he tried to ruin my prom, and because some people are just like that. Some people are just like, they don't want to see other people happy, or they just have to hurt other people. I'm not the only person that he hurt, because fast forward, side story, at the warehouse I work at now, because it's in my hometown, I see a lot of people that I know, and I actually ended up um seeing a girl. Okay, I went to the bathroom with my friend, and I was wearing my high school sweater, and it had said one of the it said wrestling on it, so it said my high school and then wrestling team or something like that. And that's actually a sweater that I had gotten from him. I just never gave it back to him when we broke up. So she looked at me and she was like, oh, because you know she went to the same school as me, and she's like, oh, were you in wrestling? And I was like, no, my ex, this is actually my ex's sweater. I was like, you might know him, because she was in wrestling. I knew she was in wrestling. And I was like, you might know him. His name is this. And like, when I had told her that, her face kind of dropped. And she was like, yeah, I know him. He cheated on my best friend. And like, she just, like, her face, like, she just looked so hurt for her best friend, which really sucked. And I was like, girl, it's cool. Like, he cheated on me too. Like, he cheated on me all over the place. Like, after the prom, and I had kind of told more people that we were dating, a lot of people started coming to me telling me like, oh, I seen him with so-and-so, like at lunch. I seen him with so-and-so after school. Like, I saw him with so-and-so on the weekend. You know, all these days where he wasn't with me. You know, allegedly you're too busy at lunch practicing for whatever, but people are seeing you around school making out with people. Like, I don't know. But I'm actually happy that I didn't end up going to prom with him, because I have two other sisters that went to prom, and they took prom pictures, and let me tell you, they have to look at their exes every single day and be reminded of their life choices. And my prom pictures are just of me, and I look so pretty and so happy. Actually, hold on. So like I said, I had two sisters that went to prom. That's ugly. Let me put that back. I had two sisters that went to prom. They took prom pictures with their boyfriends at the time, and now they have to look at it. So here's an example. You see, that guy was a dick. I don't know where oh man, I don't know where my other sister's pictures are, but it's hilarious. So I guess there's a silver lining to everything, and I'm glad he didn't ask me to prom, because then he would be in my pictures and he would have ruined my prom pictures. So yeah, thanks for not asking me to prom, because it worked out for me in the end, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all know how I don't know how to tell stories. If you found this funny, put a thumbs up. If you didn't, put a thumbs up. And yeah, if you don't get asked to prom, it's not the end of the world. Maybe it's the universe saving you from some asshole asking you and ruining your prom. Okay, so yeah, because I really think that he would have just ruined my fucking prom if I went to prom with him. Oh, my mom just told me right now, I forgot. My mom just told me right now that my dad didn't ask her to prom either. He asked another girl, and instead what she did was she just didn't go to prom. So yeah, if you guys like the video, please give it a like. You know what we do. If you don't have anything to comment, just put money bags and help your girl out with the algorithm. I think the next story time is gonna be my first day as a stripper. So yeah, keep a lookout for that one. I want to keep these story times coming out for you guys, seeing as we're in quarantine, give you guys something to watch, I guess, entertain, whatever. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.